It's Math Wizard in front. Owendale gets a dream trip through on the inside. Long range Toddy outside. Math Wizard 1 furlong to go. Owendale right alongside. Owendale on the rail. Math Wizard outside. These two now in the Ohio Derby. Owendale inside. Math Wizard outside. Owendale takes the lead. And Owendale wins the Ohio Derby.
Alright, welcome back to Travers Profile here on Racing Rundown. In this video, we're going to be covering Owendale, winner of the Ohio Derby and the Lexington Stakes. Also, this horse was third in the Preakness, so let's get right into it. So this is a horse that has been on an uptick since running 8th in the Risen Star Stakes. This horse started very late in the year, 2018. First start was in September. Took him 3 tries to break his maiden. Then his first time against a real quality field, he was 8th in the Risen Star. Since the Risen Star Stakes, he has won the Lexington, been 3rd in the Preakness, and 1st in the Ohio Derby. So I would say that this is a horse that is on an uptick. If you go back and take a look at his performance in the Ohio Derby, this was a horse that had to take a very, very stubborn charge from Math Wizard, who has been very significant in some of these past Grade 3 races. That he was 2nd in the Ohio Derby, and he was impeded by the riderless horse in the Indiana Derby. Of course, that Indiana Derby was won by Mr. Money, the horse that I think is the better of the horses that is coming from the Grade 3 races, although Mr. Money is not running in this race. But getting back to Owendale for a second. Owendale also ran a very good race in the Preakness. Again, you don't have to win a race to run well in it. And that's what I would say about Owendale. He ran a very good race in the Preakness. It wasn't a winning race, and it wasn't to run second. But I would say that Owendale definitely was benefited by having a fast pace to run into in this race, as was Everfast. The thing that I will say about Owendale's run in the Preakness is I think he could have gotten a lot better trip. If you go back and watch that race, he had to come 6 wide. And the 2 horses that finished in front of him, War Will and Everfast, both got dream trips on the rail. War Will was able to sneak through on the rail, and Everfast was able to close very, very fast on the inside, going around Warrior's charge to do so. Owendale did not get that trip. Owendale was very, very wide in the stretch, and I think that definitely contributed to him. I'm not necessarily saying he was going to win that race, but I think Owendale could have run a lot better than he could have. But he was very, very wide in the stretch. So the Preakness, that's what I would say. Not that I would draw a line through the performance, but I would say he had an excuse as to why he wasn't closer in that race. I think Owendale probably could have been 2nd, because I think War Will, while he was the best horse, I think Owendale and War Will and Everfast both got better trips. Maybe if you put Owendale maybe 2 or 3 wide instead of 7 or 8. He was actually 7 or 8 wide going back and looking at that race. But if you put him closer, Owendale could have run a lot better than he did in the Preakness. But still, 3rd place, given the trip that he had, very, very good for that horse. And going back to the Lexington Stakes at Keeneland, that was another strong performance for him. Not necessarily the best race to run in, but he did beat a couple of good horses, another Twist of Fate and Swainyo, who, while neither have run well since, at the time of that race, those were solid horses. So this is a horse that ran against a pretty good field of horses in the Lexington Stakes, and although it was a questionable field in the Preakness, I think he had an excuse because he didn't get the best trip. And then you saw the race that he ran in the Ohio Derby, taking the challenge from Math Wizard and going on to win that race. But the one thing that I will say about Owendale is I would not pick him at the odds that he is at right now. He's at 6-1 right now on the morning line. I would not take Owendale at 6-1. I would want to get more of a price out of Owendale to take him. That's why I would not pick Owendale in this spot, because I don't think that the price would justify picking him. If he was 10-1, 15-1, then I would definitely say pick Owendale as a long shot pick. But that's what I would say Owendale is right now, as a long shot pick. I know he won the Ohio Derby, but Code of Honor and Tacitus are a lot better horses than Owendale ran in that race. So that's what I will say, is I think Owendale is running against better horses than he ever has up to this point. But if you are a fan of Owendale and you like him, he is upticking, so that's what I will say is the encouragement. If you want to pick Owendale, I wouldn't because I don't like the price, but if you like him, then there's your reason to pick him because he is upticking. He has been running a lot better since that 8th in the Risen Star Stakes. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video when we will be discussing tax for Travers Profile. So I'll see you in that video.
Owendale swinging very wide at the quarter pole, and Owendale has picked up about 5 positions in the span of a 16th of a mile. Royland's going to be running late, still 8 lengths from the lead, but Owendale comes blasting off the far turn for the lead. Nix goes second, another twist of fate third. Swainyo is in fourth. Shang is fifth. Owendale, final furlong of the Stone Street Lexington. Another twist of fate runs on towards second. Swainyo third. Owendale, Florent Geroux to win it at 12-1.